Ghost to drop onto Rumblers.
I mean, they drop next to each other. It's Milta Power and Milta. Obviously, with this plane as well, it makes it very difficult for both of those teams to make it to their spot.
So the question is, can Ghost, A, determine where Rumblers are going to go, and B, do they have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to hot drop and stamp out their chances and leave nothing up to chance?
I mean, the big problem coming here is going to depend where Vanquish goes, because Vanquish has been flexing up to Kameshki. Kameshki is Rumbler's second drop. That's their audible drop, and they're still in the plane right now. And so is Vanquish, actually.
So Rumblers have decided, maybe they caught wind of the same things we did and decided to maybe not stay the same. They want to mix things up a little bit. But also, Rumblers could be thinking, we need points in a big way. How are we going to get that? And it looks like they're just going for an alt drop strategy. They're not headed towards Milta Power, at least not right away. Whereas Ghost is already out. They're headed towards Milta.
Yeah, no, just coming back to the last game, that there for me is... I mean, that's got to be the highlight of the face for me. And again, it creates this situation now where Lazarus, again, not having a bad game. Lazarus did not have a bad game last game on Miramar. So Genesis really, I mean, putting on the heat coming into the last game. And that is...
That is the circle.
That is the circle.
You know what? I think we had almost exactly the same circle in the last game of last phase.
We did. We saw it end up at this one directly north of North George on the combat. It was Tempo that ended up winning that one out against D United.
Absolutely. You got a good memory. Now, looking at the scoreboards, you can see how close it is between Lazarus and Genesis. Envy not too far behind Genesis either. And at this stage for Riot Squad, they would have to have a nuts game to be able to catch up, to get back into that third place ballpark area. So I really can't imagine that happening now.
No, and I think I was slightly off on my math, but Genesis 13 behind Lazarus again. That
Lazarus, yeah, I mean, if we're talking about placement, with where Lazarus normally loots, how they're going to try and get into the northern side of the zone, I can't imagine, unless Wildcard or Zenith tries to trap them out on the bridge crossing, that we're going to see Lazarus taking too many early game casualties.
No, they're not. And ultimately, a team like this will understand that. They'll understand all the variables as soon as this circle posts, you know, teams that are potentially going to camp them and whatnot. But I mean, Lazarus, they definitely need to have a good game so as not to give Genesis the opportunity. And like I said, when you're in games like this and you see something in the kill feed, the tendency is to want to say, look, the one opportunity we have is if Lazarus go out or they start losing people, and that's when you see teams kind of explode and start pushing things.
We did not see Ghost do anything crazy, by the way. So even though we like to talk about it, like to think about it, it's going to be a straight-up game start. No real changes and variations or strategy right now. Genesis is going to try and rotate out of Pachinki. Rumblers have actually gone over to Lippo and Tempo Storm. They have basically not changed anything. Come and get us if you want to. They're sticking to their game plan, and right now it's taking center zone on the south side of the George Bull Mountain.
I mean, even with that drop spot, they pretty much have like a third of that southwest corner of the zone to themselves. So loads of space, loads of time. I think, again, have we ever seen a 40-point game from any team?
You know what? If there's a time, it's now. So if anyone's got it in them, please show me, because I need to cast that one.
Yeah.
So the first rotation, Endemic is going to get the benefit of the first zone. And that's
13 minutes, is that? I'll go with 13 minutes again till they come out.
Leave out. Well, the thing with Georgia Pole is that you can stay in there for as long as you want.
It's like a kilometer wide.
Yeah, you can move through it. You don't have to move too far. But normally these circles will go north, but anything can happen with that 50% water right through the middle.
Yeah, it can, and it makes that third to fourth shrink, you know, really hard to
predict.
Yeah, predict, especially if the first two circles are kind of centralized, because obviously it's going to end up pulling away from your drop spot. But usually when we see these ones come down towards hospital, that's where you see these massive migrations come circle 3. But Tempo looking like they heard actually Profi, going to take some shots. Looks like he's going to come back down the hill, but Nerf and H1 actually pulling up here. K-Mind as well, already in a position to try and back this up.
They can use the ridge line to attack this position for Tempo, and this is going to be an early game skirmish between two absolute heavyweights.
K-Mind coming over to the tree here. Could be a problem because Zampa's up on the roof. He's going to have an open line of sight onto this.
Do you think that if they realize who it is, does Genesis, that they take this fight off and try and get somewhere else?
I think right now Genesis are in a position where if they want second place, they can't be picking and choosing their fights. Yeah. They just need to take fights.
Well, they're not going to take this one. They've decided to veer off. They don't want to take this fight this early. And they are in the center of the zone, but they want to get closer to the bridge crossing. I imagine they're going to want to take a compound, open or otherwise, just scout out, stop. They've stopped around the ruins. Profi's going to give K-Mine a little kiss there with the motorcycle.
That's Profi telling K-Mine to go back. Stop overextended.
No,
get back to the dip over there.
He's like a sheepdog.
I don't like this spot they're stopping on though. Valier all the way, again, on his own, but super, super far away over on the west side of ruins here. You can see he's got an open line of sight. He's going to get a good tag onto K-Mine. He's come down 2 tags there with the SLR.
No shots otherwise coming out as the rest of SSG is way far back. And are you doing sign language? What is that?
That was me.
Do something?
I was pointing at the mini-map.
We're gonna have to get the muzzle off here when it comes to SSG eventually, there, friend. But for Profi, he's in the front line defending. Valiant getting more and more aggressive. SSG has got literally nothing to lose at this stage.
No, this is a fight that you want to see Genesis take.
Absolutely.
As soon as they identify this, they can see that it's split, already pushed in. Valiant, I think, has had to come back and take a spot on a tree, so he's now in a lot of trouble potentially.
Baja back, just looking across. Petror got the mini lined up. He's looking right at H-Win, just waiting for that opportunity to unleash. And here comes Lazarus. Sonic's on the bridge.
Okay,
and this was the question we thought would happen. Lazarus is going to sneak past, and they're going to stop. Oh, no! Halo! Slam dunks Tony V. Spiked him like a football, and that is absolutely unfortunate for Tony V.
That's one of those moments you go, oh, God, I hope they weren't watching.
Oh, but we were.
I hope they weren't watching.
Oh, my God. Dunk done. Oh, K-Mine's got around Hetror. And look at that. Now SSG is going to be taking the first casualty, and JSAC forced off the firing line in the church. And the quick flush, 1 point going to Gen. Or sorry, excuse me. I was going to call him Gen G, but Genesis. They play kind of similarly.
Gen S.
Yeah. Wait. Explain. Oh, I get it. Genesis. I get it. It's all come together. My brain, it takes a while to start up. It's like an old car. Valiate's on the coastline, looking towards the compound here. Nerf is going to cross by, and really this is a non-starter for SSG so far.
No, and that's the thing. Looking back at and talking about the kill feed, how ironic is it that Lazarus pick up a kill elsewhere and then Genesis immediately pick up another one, so maintaining that same point gap. But I mean, right now, Genesis, they don't want to sacrifice too much in terms of positioning to commit to this fight. And again, SSG not pushing up and being aggressive. I think Valier obviously still over on the coastline, and actually that's exactly where Profi was pulled up initially, but Sharp Shot's actually all the way over the north side, so it's interesting to see Tempo split both sides of the river here. Maluk actually driving down towards Profi. I'm not sure if Sharp Shot's called out Profi's location. Profi should hear this now. He should be able to get an easy spray.
I think Maluk just wants to take a little break and enjoy his victory lap, as now it's going to be Maluk going down, the quick flush. And, you know, Maluk is just as comfortable out of game as he is in game, and now Valiate is going to find H-Win and flush him down and out, and that's what Valiate's specialty seems to be, is just like that guerrilla warfare, pop out of nowhere, get a quick point, and then try and escape, but Nerf will find him with the grenade. Low-key is eliminated elsewhere, as Baja way up on top of Church again, shooting down below as Profi tries to cross over to finish off Valiate. You can see I think that's a molly or a regular grenade going up and over. Regular nade can't be finished as Profi and Nerf will come back to K-Mine. They did lose H-Win.
This is scrappy now. Again, losing a player for this. Again, I'm going to hope that they can pick up these kill points, because that, like we said last game, that's a worthwhile trade to pick up those kill points. If you're going to lose one person, if it puts you down to maybe, you know, 2 players, that's when it's arguable that it's not worth doing.
VZ and the rest of Riot Squad up on top of Everest, shooting down onto passing vehicles. No kills so far. Riot Squad, they came real damn close, but just could not keep it together on that 3rd place position. But what a phase, what a season it's been for Riot Squad. Circle shift.
I was going to say, it looks like Genesis.
Ooh, all the way south. And that's a lucky shift for everyone who's already south. So now for Wildcard and Vanquish, they're already close together, and now what Lazarus has to do is going to become a big question mark. They're going to have to go all the way back south.
I don't want to detach away from this too much, but Sonics are actually holding Ghost all the way out of the zone. Back at Yasnaya, that same bridge camp we saw Tony doing, so we'll have to try and catch up with that a bit later on. Meanwhile, Tempo looking like they want to come south over here, but P1E have actually backfilled them into one of their, you know, favored compounds here. So Lampalot and Aguila set up early. They're going to get some decent damage, and Envy have actually set up in front of them. Elsewhere taking down Taylor J, but they're going to have some free shots over towards Tempo if they turn away.
Aguila. Ooh, that could have been close. Bolt action. You might as well get the practice in now. Player One Esports, unfortunately, in the relegation window. They could climb out of it, but it's unlikely at this stage. Actually, very unlikely.
Very.
So, for Tempo Storm, they will grab the yellow compound and just kind of chill. And this is going to be a game for Tempo where they just try and cruise. That eastern side, however, Hypoc, you said it before, Ghost is being held out by Sonics.
You can see Sonics
who are literally camping them.
They've literally come all the way south along the east side of this zone. You can see them. They're literally tracking them through the blue.
That is just pro gaming right there. You know, might as well turn the screwdriver while you stick them.
Look at it.
Yeah, they are literally forcing them out. We're actually nearby where that's happening, following Lazarus. On your right side, it's like they're just trailing them in the blue. Like, no.
This started at
Papers,
Yasnaya
please.
Bridge, at the gas station coming out of Yasnaya.
There's Meeman. This is Sonics. They've come up into 8th place. It would be difficult.
They know it's Ghost as well.
Well, you know, I guess they'll have to trade words afterwards, but I mean, this is going to be the call that they're sticking with, and Ghost has got to be feeling the frustration as they are just ticking away. I can see their health bars from here. And Drassel's low health, McCoy's 50%, Vegas just under 75%, and Ghost is just not having a good time right now.
I mean, if they can manage, both teams, if they can manage to get into the south side, I mean, Sonics and Ghost, there's a lot of space there around the Chopsticks area. P1 are occupying the north side of it, but I mean, this is interesting from Sonics. They've had a beat on Ghost rotation out in the blue, and they're just stopping it.
So in order for Ghost to be eliminated from PGC, the Rumblers need to have a crazy game. But for now...
Actually, no, look, it's only 6 points. My mistake, we were talking about this in between. It's only 6.
They need to get on top of United is what you're saying.
I think that's right, yeah.
Okay, so now, the Rumblers, they're 4 up. I mean, nothing's been decided yet, but Ghost, really, they are not going to get any movement if they go out in the zone, which Drassel's so far in the blue. He's not even in a vehicle now, which is concerning.
Please don't tell me he's run out of gas.
That would be...
If he's run out of gas there...
He's dead. So for Zenith, it's a now matter of trying to get in on their edge of the zone. A lot of people on foot.
He's found another vehicle. He's found another. I guarantee you, he either flipped his vehicle or ran out of gas.
I'm surprised he hasn't smashed his keyboard yet, to be 100% honest. Like, Drassel was already kind of mentally fragile. Well, not mentally fragile, but he was pretty choked. He was choked already coming into this game. And, you know, running out of gas in the blue, it's annoying in a public game. I can only imagine the last day of NPL.
This could be interesting as well. Rumblers could run into SSG over in the ruins area here, which again is too much needed kill points. You can already see Fozu actually behind them, way back in the blue. I'm not sure where the rest of Vanquish are. That's
Vanquish is north side. They're trying to get across the bridges.
A question we find ourselves asking a lot, but they're way split here. So Fozu opted not to take those shots. Good decision, to be honest. And that's actually a pretty good shift for Rumblers. Rumblers getting a knock onto Lazarus here, so Lost should be able to confirm this one. That's going to be a kill point going over to Rumblers.
United dead smack in the middle of the zone. That's the team that we want to watch as well. Now Lazarus taking some shooting some shots, I should say, out towards Zenith on the edge of the zone. Sonics have given up their hunting and stalking of Ghost on the edge of the zone, but they leave them all the way south as Ghost had to commit.
Oh, no.
So they're south very far.
Oh, Micro!
Ah! Oh! Baja, snake in the grass, takes down Micro, and that is a thorn in the side. And SSG is just playing the spoiler now. Baja gets taken down from very far away. Waldo needs to steal that, but can't see him. So, unfortunately, they're looking for that last player, who is J-Sank. No kills for him, but he's running around looking for any chance at points as Sharpshot and the rest of the lobby continue to stay active. Looks like Rumblers did pick up another point onto Finna.
They did, yeah, bringing the gap down to 4 now. Obviously, we're not into the placement point zone, so it's going to stay at 4 until we lose another 6 teams, but... Zenith, meanwhile, Alo, actually, I was going to say, I don't know why he's not peeking there, but Lazarus pulling back here and actually baiting Zenith into the rotation along the road coming out of Pachinki, so a free kill going over to Lazarus.
Critical fight about to kick off here between Sonics and United. Sharu has got the ridgeline to work with. It's Wooly and I think Tiggleton there together, and now Wooly needs to step up and hit some shots as Tiggleton is there to support. Lots of damage coming out from this young man here in his first phase in the NPL. But United have got a real strong defensive hold on this compound, Hypoc.
Yeah, it's very difficult to push these double whites here. And I mean, ultimately, Sonics, they have no pressure. And if teams start backfilling to the south of this circle, it can, you know, cause problems for him. But Lazarus pulling back to the yellow houses over to the east side of that, you know, potentially could make the next circle very interesting if they need to come uphill.
Zenith's trying to come along the high side of the ridge, trying to get any angles onto a moving Alo in his vehicle. 3 strong still. I think they did lose Civ at some point. So now for Alo and the rest of the squad, it's a matter of picking up as many points just to keep that gap between Genesis, but it gets closer and closer as time goes on. Genesis has picked up a couple of kills. They've got time and space on the northeastern side of the zone. And Riot Squad, they've got the vision. They've got the vantage point there on Everest.
Yeah, actually, and Sonic's being pretty active. It was Sonic shooting at Zenith there, and we already saw they were south side of the double whites, and Ghost had an open line of sight. They were trying to get some damage down, but look at Tibbleton's sight line.
Way long distance. It's Alo getting the initial knock onto Walt Jr. And here comes Fozu driving on past. Not going to stop. Ooh, takes a lot of damage off the stop and is going to get immediately finished by Roth. Free point there for him, and now it's going to be Vanquish out 15th place.
Lazarus are pushing up. Look at Kurt and Luke. They're pushed all the way up here. Kurt actually taking a hit of damage there from Kendo over peaking the rock.
Purdy could hit this beautiful grenade here as it's going to bounce up and just pass. Oh, does a ton of damage. Finishes off Walt in the back line and almost takes down, I think that might have been Kendo. As, yeah, Kendo is way low health, and now Roth is going to try and get the defensive nades out. Purdy taking some shots. Actually, it's Alo from the back line shooting at Roth. Kendo with the grenade out, trying to get one close to Purdy. Can't find it. And that's going to be another throwable coming towards. I think that's a baited smoke.
Oh.
No, that one's real. And it's going to blow Roth's legs off.
Look at Kurt.
And he's going flat out. He wants to find it. He knew that grenade came from somewhere over here. And the Bushman is going to unleash with the AK and go for the total flush. Hits the reload. Thinks about it. Stands up. Oh, he can't get the finish. Okay, so Kendo's now going to come around the other side.
He's expecting somebody else to be wrapping the smoke right now. Alo's coming up in the vehicle, so he's going to be able to back this up. Somebody else trying a third party over to get this knock. I think it's Sonics again. Tickleton getting his tag onto Kendo's with the smoke.
Another smoke comes out, trying to prevent Alo's sightline. Purdy could be rezzed. There's someone that's Envy from a million miles away trying to finish off Purdy. It's actually going to be Waldo getting that point. So Rumblers will get another point over E United. Well, they're getting closer. Only 3 points difference now, Hypog.
Yeah, and Alo very cautious here, throws down on Molly. Zone is moving, so all of these players are going to get stuck on the edge here. Kendo pushing out, is going to get shut down. Alo does get that kill, so another 2 points going over to Lazarus there.
Meanwhile, United and Ghost getting into it. What a spray there with the Scar from distance, but can't get it to go. Los HD picking up another down onto Balefrost, and luckily Sharu is going to take down Ghost, so that means now Los is going to step up and over. Oh, they're getting the kill stolen. That means another point lost. Rumblers 3 points behind United.
He's 1 HP. He's 1 HP.
Oh, and Ghost is going to go down 12th place. And now the question is, what can Rumblers do to pick up much needed points?
Waldo has a nade. All he needs to do is throw a nade into this freshly popped smoke that have just put down. Trying to get the res on to stab.
Oh, think about it, Waldo.
Go fishing.
Oh, he didn't. He just threw the grenade away. The other one is going to bounce off the UAZ, and the res is going to come onto E United. Didn't bother to check over that, but maybe, again, there's so much at play, so many factors these players need to think about. Sometimes those little extra steps needed could have netted them critical points.
Yeah, and against a team that they know they need to wipe. They know they need to finish above E United.
So now the question remains, can the Rumblers wipe out E United and overtake them to potentially secure their PGC placement? Genesis looking up towards VZ. This is a very long climb for this squad. Riot Squad's been here a long time.
I don't think, did we just miss Ghost going out as well?
We did, no, they were 12th place.
Okay. I wasn't listening to you then.
Fair enough. I talk a lot, you know, you're gonna miss some things.
This is an interesting setup though. Riot Squad, you can already see, have Genesis in sort of a pinch. Nerf down next to Mystery. Profi and K-Mind up on the hill here, right next to Protege. So, oh, that's a long nade.
Oh, Sharky from downtown takes down Luke with a beautiful grenade.
That opens things up for Genesis though. You can see they've already got an opening knock onto Mystery, so these are much needed points right now for Genesis. Lazarus going out right there leaves the gap at 14 points. They're already up to 4 kills, I think. Let's see if Genesis can capitalize on it.
Now it's a very slow up here. It's very difficult to push blindly. You know, there's rocks in play. J-Sank spotting Cherry.
Oh no!
It's a damage. Oh, look at that! Cherry takes down J-Sank. It was a damage trade, but looks like.
Look at the map though, Moses. Sharu hears that in the kill feed. He's going up to push it. Sharu gets the opening knock on the Waldo and lost.
Oh my God, Cherry's the last man up. He needs to stay alive. Sharu knows the damage he needs to deal. Back with Genesis. Crispier on the low side. Riot Squad is down. And I think it was Cherry going down as well. The Rumblers are out.
Oh no. We'll have to wait to see how that one ends up. But meanwhile, coming back on here, Kickstart getting a knock and a flush onto Crispier here. Genesis having to full reset. They still have 3 members alive. And ultimately, Endemic in a pretty rough spot. You're going to see them go out in 7th spot there.
Wow, and Endemic, I mean, I think we can hear the E United fans in the stands yelling away as they have almost certainly prevented Rumblers from taking that PGC spot. Now, K-Mines and the rest of Genesis continuing to stack up points through this game, have a decision they have to make. They have to come south. Meanwhile, we've got Tempo Storm fighting with Sharu way out on the outside, and that's the difference. Only minutes, and Rumblers could have made it a little bit closer to PGC contention.
Absolute heartbreak there. You can hear people getting a bit excited here, obviously. We do know the result right now, but we will wait for post-game to get that one confirmed. But meanwhile, Genesis in a pretty rough spot. We saw a circle similar to this with the other Erangel game yesterday. That did come down to the south side. Pistola actually getting the knock and flush onto Nerf. So Genesis down to 2 players now.
It's very hard for them to try and get this fight going with a full 4-man on wildcard and the zone closing. They were maybe waiting for some angle, some line of sight, but now it's going to be K-Mine and Profi trying to pick up any more points. Sharky prone on the edge of the zone. Tempo is here with 3, and they've got the eyes on them from Interrogate. Only 1 kill for Envy so far, but Envy still in a position to potentially, depending on how this game goes, jump over Genesis into 3rd place.
I mean, they could do, yeah. It's going to come down to whether or not Genesis go out next, because obviously we're already in the placement point cluster here. We're in the top 5 situation, so every placement now counts.
Zampa coming over to help Sharpshot, who was down by Taro, I believe. Lots of smokes down, can't see a damn thing. Just firing blindly, trying to see if he can hit the edge of the tree where maybe he could get a damage point or 2. Tempo does have the edge of the zone, and Envy has got the center position.
Tempo going to look to reset back towards the north side of the road here. And again, we saw him play a very similar spot in the other Everest circle. So hopefully this one's a bit less congested. There's less teams up on Everest, so they should be able to get themselves a good foothold. But Envy, you can see that they're just pushing out right now. Wildcard, meanwhile, Kickstart.
They've got 10 kills, by the way.
Trying to get some shots down onto Genesis. Good point. They do have 10 kills.
They could potentially climb out of relegations if they get a lot of points here at the end of this game. It wasn't that far.
They?
Yeah, I think it was like 12-ish points that they need to climb out. So,
okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot on the line here for Wildcard, really. And now it's going to be Profi unleashing onto Zampa from distance, going to get that down, and it looks like K-Mine's going to help him out, and the finish goes to him. So that's another point into the 6 that Genesis have collected so far. Sharky shooting from the low side. Taro's moved all the way over, and he's going to take down Sharpshot. That's going to allow K-Mine and Profi to come down the hill.
I did say Envy were pushing out hyper aggressive here. Kickstart actually going to get a tag over onto Sharky. Sharky trying to back away towards the road, but Envy set up now, literally with 3 people on the ridge watching that cross.
So they need 12 more points in order.
K-Mine picked that one up.
Oh, so Sharky will get the last, or so
7
Sharky will go
points.
down, and actually Kickstart fell and injured himself.
He pulled a Drassel.
Ah, my leg! As Player One Esports, they still have 3 up. They're coming in on the western side. Wildcard is to get down this hill. They will take down K-Mines, and David bolts the rifle one more time. Profi getting shot through the smoke. He's trying to spike the smokes down, get the res going. He's got a med first. He's got a prone. K-Mine trying to body block. What a good teammate. He's just trying to prevent Profi hitting that last shot. Nice body block there from K-Mines.
That smoke's going to dissipate, though, and it could potentially open them up.
I think
they're going to back into the second one.
Yeah, they do have a fresh one there to deal with. So K-Mine likely will be rezzed unless they're spotted by Interrogate, who's getting closer and closer.
And Pat actually is further over to the east than them as well. And this is a full 4-man from Envy. But actually Pride back at the compound. So Pride playing anchor right now. Moody, Interrogate, and Pat Caps looking up to hold this edge of the circle.
Wildcard just needs to get as many kills as possible. They could jump over Endemic, but it would take a pretty big effort from them. Pat Caps,
spotted Profi.
Ooh, and down and out very quickly. And now it's only K-Mine crawling in on the edge of the zone. So Genesis, while so close behind Lazarus, they will go out, and Lazarus will hold on to that 2nd place position.
I mean, Envy potentially could, with a couple more kills here and the win. I don't want to speak too soon, but they could potentially clinch 3rd place out here.
Moody going to take down Adam, and just like that, this is getting very, very close to the end as Wildcard still tries to make their way into the northern side of the zone. Player One Esports not making things any easier. David taking a lot of damage. That's from Penta. Bit of a slow down here, but look at the control of Envy at this stage. They're going to take down D-Treats. David just trying to hit that bolt action shot.
Actually, that one getting stolen over from Pistola. That's pretty huge against. Actually, Interrogate pushing right up here. Cooks a nade, throws it over. I think it's going to be way short here, but Pistola and I think Penta are pushing over towards the north side here. David getting some shots down onto them. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to find a way into the circle.
Taro's just trying to fish. That last grenade could have done something, but just lands short. David going to prime his own grenade. Taro steps up and over, and both points go to Envy, who get even closer to Genesis, and now they have to take it to Player One Esports. David's going to get the initial knock. Mooney's stuck. stuck by, or actually it's just David by himself at the rock, and things are coming apart quickly here in the end game. David has the potential to clutch, but Envy will take it. But nothing has changed. Tempo Storm sits atop the leaderboard in first place.
That, for a moment there, was going to get really interested with the Genesis situation developing, but unfortunately getting shut down on the Everest play. What a final game.
Very, very intense. And at the end of the day, man, that was going to be very close to the very end. But
it was.
The PGC points in play. Tempo Storm, however, came through this phase and again showed everyone that they own this league.
I mean, head and shoulders above